Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Penn Engineering Online's admissions webinar. My name is Jackie Panto. I am the Associate Director of Admissions for Penn Engineering. And today we are so excited to see so many of you because today we are going to be talking about our brand new online degree program. It was less than a month ago, just a few weeks ago, that we announced this new program, and it is our Masters of Science in Engineering in Artificial Intelligence program, which we call our MSE-AI program. So again, it's a brand new program, and today we are going to be focusing on all the program details and giving you lots of information about the program and the admissions process. So we're really thrilled to see so many of you. And that's not even the best part. The best part today is we have a very special guest presenter with us today. We have Professor Chris Callison-Burch. And Professor Callison-Burch, he is not only is he professor and teaching the program, but he is the program director and a key contributor in developing this new degree program. So he's here today to talk about the program. You're going to hear the details firsthand from him. So you really definitely picked a great event to join today. So we're very excited and happy to have him with us today. So before I turn the webinar over to Professor Callison-Burch, I just need to go over some webinar details with you all. So number one, we are being recorded. So there is no need to take notes. You can watch this webinar as many times as you want. And in fact, all of our past webinars, we have a library of webinars that are on our YouTube channel. They are an awesome resource to learn lots of information about Penn Engineering Online. So we talk about a lot of our programs. There's webinars about our community and alumni and current students. So really a great resource when you're learning what we're all about. So I highly recommend you check that out for sure. And of course, this webinar will be located on there too shortly after today. If you have questions during the webinar, we certainly want you to ask them. So if you can use the Q&A function on the Zoom toolbar, type your questions in. We have an entire team of admissions as well as our student affairs team that are behind the scenes and that will be able to answer those questions. Now, I know many of you submitted questions when you registered for this webinar. Please type those questions in the Q&A. Some will be answered directly through that Q&A, and some will be answered at the end of the webinar during our Q&A section. So regardless, you need to type those questions in the Q&A toolbar function in Zoom. So I think that covers just about everything. So I am going to turn it over. Chris, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it, and the presentation is all yours.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Jackie. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Callison-Burch. I'm a professor here at the University of Pennsylvania. I've been in the field of artificial intelligence for more than 2 decades. So it's incredibly exciting right now to be studying artificial intelligence. As you all know, AI has just pervaded the news, and it's really revolutionizing a lot of industries. So we're super excited to be able to offer this online master's degree in artificial intelligence to help you engage in this new exciting field. So I'll be the director of this new Master's of Engineering in Artificial Intelligence, and I also teach several of the courses in it. So the one that you'll take during your first semester in the program is called CIS, Computer and Information Systems 5210. That's our artificial intelligence course, which is really popular. So both through our online program and for our on-campus program, it often has among the highest enrollment of any course at the university. So that's a real reflection of how excited people are about AI. So just as a little bit of background about myself, as I mentioned, I've been in this field for nearly 20 years, maybe, I guess, nearly 25 years now. I did my undergraduate degree in an AI-related program at Stanford University called the Symbolic Systems Program. It's a really cool interdisciplinary degree program that combines computer science, linguistics, psychology, and philosophy into a really interesting approach to artificial intelligence. My own research interest after being an undergrad was how can we get computers to understand human languages? And what are the challenges that make that an interesting research task? And so I went on to do both a master's and a PhD at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, where I focused my PhD on automatically translating between different languages like Arabic and English, similar to what you see today in Google Translate. Like all of the professors in this program, I also, in addition to teaching, have a lot of really interesting research. So I publish in the fields of natural language processing, which is the sub-area of artificial intelligence from which large language models like ChatGPT came about. Because I've been in the field so long and because I get the chance to work with so many talented graduate students, we have a huge range of publications. So I've published over 100 different conference papers and journal articles about AI and natural language processing in particular. This past summer, I got invited to testify before Congress about generative AI as lawmakers were trying to understand the implications about AI. So in the QR code in the corner here, if you're interested in taking a look at my congressional testimony, you can scan that QR code and see how I held up in front of the US House of Representatives. It was pretty good. I was a little nervous, but it went well. Great, so let's go to the next slide here. This new online master's in science and engineering and artificial intelligence is really quite unique. It's the first of its kind among any of the Ivy League institutions that we call our peers. It's targeted at people who already have a computer science background and want to advance their knowledge in the field of artificial intelligence. So you'll go through this program and we'll review the curriculum and why you might be interested in taking this particular degree program. And if you're selected and if you complete the program, you get the same diploma as anyone else who does a degree at Penn, whether it be online or on campus. And we really pride ourselves in trying to deliver as high quality education online as we do on campus. In fact, I tell all my peers, all the other professors who I try to recruit to teach their courses in our online degree program, that I feel actually my on-campus teaching has gotten better as a result of having created these online courses. So it's a very, very high quality education, not at all watered down in any way. Next slide, please. So the key pillars of our online Masters in Science, Masters of Science in Engineering and Artificial Intelligence are, we want to teach you the algorithmic, mathematical, and computational and ethical foundations of artificial intelligence. So we've developed curriculum to try to target all of these areas. So the goal of this is to give you a set of skills that are going to be beneficial throughout your career. In computer science, there's always a tension between what I like to call evergreen information, where you'll have the core elements of computer science or artificial intelligence that we think will persist throughout multiple years or multiple decades, with contemporary information that'll be instantly useful as you join the workforce. So those are often things that are less evergreen. So the things that you want to know, like to start a new job, are like, how do I use the OpenAI APIs? And those change so often that we want to teach you those things, but we also want to give you that core foundation so that you can understand whatever the next generation of artificial intelligence is and have that kind of fundamental understanding. So we're going to give you both of those types of skills, and the goal is to equip you to be able to advance in your own career if you're already in a software engineering position and you want to move into a machine learning or LLM ops style position or another kind of AI engineering position. We'll try to get you all of the skills that will help you join this exciting new area. Yeah, and I think we all know, or all of you can see just by reading the news, that AI is pervasive, and I think it's likely to be a really cornerstone of many computer science careers for the next decade. So the curriculum that we've developed for the AI degree consists of 7 core courses. So 2 of them are taught by me. You'll take the artificial intelligence class, which aims to give you that broad foundation of artificial intelligence. So this covers 50 years of AI algorithms, starting all the way back in the 1950s, where perceptrons, which are the building blocks of neural networks, were developed, going through logical and Bayesian reasoning, through reinforcement learning, through contemporary methods like neural networks, and all the way up to large language models. The other class that I teach is the natural language processing class. And there, rather than having a broad overview, we go deep. So you'll learn from my particular area of expertise, which is NLP. So you'll get a deep dive into all of the techniques that go into building a large language model like ChatGPT. You'll then learn a lot of really interesting things from several other faculty members from our Electrical Systems Engineering Department, ESE, as well as our CIS department, Computer and Information Science. So you'll learn about the mathematical foundations and statistical underpinnings of data science and neural networks. You'll learn about topics in machine learning, and you'll learn about deep learning as well. In addition to that, we're developing a new course that's targeting the kind of large-scale infrastructure or GPU programming that you'll need if you want to do an ML ops or LLM ops type job, where you're actually trying to deploy a cluster for your company to try to run their own large models. So that's a course that's under development that will roll out specifically for this program. And you can either take that, or you can take our Internet and Web Systems, which is also a large systems engineering course that gives you a really core software engineering, systems engineering style education. And finally, because we think it's so important for artificial intelligence, we're also developing a brand new course focused on artificial intelligence ethics. And the 2 professors who teach that are Professor Aaron Roth and Professor Michael Kearns, who have literally written the book on the ethical algorithm. So if you're interested in checking out a popular science book about the ethics of machine learning, you can check it out on Amazon. It's a really great book called The Ethical Algorithm. In addition to these required core classes, you also get to pick from among several technical electives, including network systems, computer vision, and we're also trying to create a new AI practicum to allow you to do a project-based course that you can add something to your portfolio to show off to future employers. And then finally, you can have any elective drawn from our awesome online course programs as your 10th course. Great. So if you're interested in learning more about my class, this is the CIS 5210, the one that I mentioned at the start, is one of the most popular with the highest enrollments at Penn. So this focuses on approaching artificial intelligence from the perspective of agents that behave rationally. So rather than just focusing on LLMs, which is my area of research and that I'm super excited by, we focus on how would we implement an AI system that could make decisions. It could choose among many possible options and select the optimal one. So this covers a wide range of topics, including search. So in this context, search doesn't mean internet search like Google search. It means searching over a large space of possible options in order to find the best sequence of actions to arrive at a goal. So one example of a search problem is the kind of algorithm that the GPS in your phone uses when it's trying to find you the fastest route from where you are at the moment to where you want to get to. For that search algorithm, And it dovetails really nicely if you've had an algorithm course in the past. I kind of liken it to studying both physics and calculus. You can study either, but when you study both, you get a real deep understanding of those things. So we cover classical search algorithms like breadth first search, depth first search, and A star. We do a dive into statistical machine learning, talking about the fundamental building blocks of neural networks like perceptrons, talking about statistical data-driven learning like naive Bayes. We go for a deeper dive into how you extend that statistical reasoning through Bayesian networks, which allows proper, robust, mathematically correct probabilistic reasoning. We go into natural language processing by looking at large language models, or sorry, we start with small language models, and then we get into large language models. I like to joke that I was into language models before they were big, before they were large. And then we also have really neat components that I think are going to come back into style as we reach the limit of what LLMs, large language models, can do on their own. So I think in the next year or two, you'll see a lot of interesting work on trying to build LLMs that can be agents, that can engage with the world by taking actions on your behalf. And so in order to do that in a robust, accurate way, you really need to have some way of representing knowledge about who the agent is acting on behalf of, what they're interacting with in the world, and all these sorts of really exciting things. So this course is really a hands-on learn by building kind of course. So we have 10 homework assignments that are all Python based, where you can implement all these algorithms yourself to gain a real deep understanding of them. And if you're interested in checking out this course, you can follow the link at the bottom of the screen in that QR code, which will take you to a preview that we've put together for our online Masters in Artificial Intelligence on Coursera, which has the first 4 weeks of 4 of our courses, including the artificial intelligence class here. So if you want to access that link or just search Coursera for the AI and machine learning essentials in Python specialization, you'll find it. You don't need to pay anything. Don't let Coursera upsell you. You can just try it out and see if you like the style of lectures that we've got there, and you can get a little preview of a smaller version of our homework assignments. Great. So if you enroll in this program, what is the kind of experience that you have as a student? So it's a combination of all these different elements. So you'll hear lectures that are from the faculty who teach here at Penn, who are experts in all of these areas, and who publish in artificial intelligence and deep learning and machine learning conferences. So we pre-recorded all of these nicely produced videos that go through all of our lecture materials. So you'll be able to access those online videos and watch them in an on-demand fashion whenever it fits into your schedule. So you don't have to tune in to watch us lecturing in real time. We've got the pre-recorded, well-produced videos for you to watch. All of our courses have very active discussion forums. So you'll join and you'll be able to ask questions of me and the other professors and our TAs as you're doing your homework and as you're engaged in the course materials. So although the lectures are on demand, we follow a week-by-week module schedule. So you'll have weekly deadlines, typically, sometimes every other week deadlines for homework assignments. So for my class, we tend to do one Python programming homework assignment per week. And then on some weeks, we skip a homework assignment and do a midterm exam. So we hire a lot of really awesome TAs to help everyone out. So if at any point you need assistance in walking through a homework assignment, or if you're struggling with a concept, you can engage with the TAs, and then professors also hold live office hours. So I hold mine in the evening, and it's a really awesome chance to get to interact with students who are enrolled in the program. We discuss the course content and AI and the news and research and all sorts of really awesome topics. So that's one of my favorite aspects of this program, is the chance to engage with students who are taking my courses. Great. I'll hand it back to Jackie, who can tell us a little bit more about the community that's built around this awesome degree program. And I'll stick around and answer questions that you have later in the webinar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Professor Callison-Burch. So I wanted to spend some time talking about the community. So just like our other online programs, the MSE-AI program has an incredible, or will have an incredible student community, and we will build a community of students that is very similar to our MCIT Online and our MSEDS Online programs. And we do lots of things to support that community. One thing we know about online programs from our research is that online programs kind of have the impression that they can be very isolating. So we want to make sure we do everything possible to make sure that that experience for our students is not the case. We do not want our programs and your experience to be isolating. So a few things that we've done. Our students communicate in a very active Slack community. So our students use Slack. Almost all of our courses, if not all of our courses, have a Slack channel. Students have create channels maybe to talk about their pets or geographic locations. So not only is Slack used to talk about courses and what's going on in courses, but it's also used, students have used this to like build study groups in their local areas of students that might be in their areas, and just a way to communicate and to feel connected to one another. So a great active Slack community. We also have in-person events. Every year in the fall, we have what's called a Fall Fest. It's optional, but we invite our entire student body to Fall Fest. It's a great way to interact, to network. It's lots of fun. There's lots of socialization events, ways to socialize, but also our professors are there. Our professors hold workshops, so it's a great way to meet our professors, hear add-ons and things that what they want to say and what they want you to learn outside the classroom. So just a great networking opportunity and a way to get to know other students, faculty, staff. We enjoy it here too because we get to meet the students that we've been helping from the very beginning. So those are great opportunities. Of course, we have our graduation event. Our graduation was just this past Friday, and Professor Callison-Burch and I were talking a little bit before the webinar today, and it really is such an incredible event. For many of us professors as well as staff, it's the first time we're meeting our students, and it's the first time that a lot of students are meeting each other. And you never get that impression when you're in the room. It's really awesome. You look around and you think everybody's known each other for so long, but that's not the case. They're meeting each other for the first time. And it's a great event. And we definitely welcome and we want everyone that's graduating to attend graduation and to attend any reception or event related to that as well. So lots of opportunities to connect. In addition to these three, we also have road trips. We go on the road and we get students together in various different locations. And we also get our companies that we network with together. So we'll have meetups on the road at various different companies. Our students come together. You can see some of the locations that we've been to. We have a trip, I think it's coming up. I don't think it happened yet, but it either just happened or it's happening. We have a trip coming up in Boston, which is either very soon or just happened. But again, this is a great opportunity to get together, to meet fellow students, to meet faculty, to meet staff, and to also network with some of our partner companies in various locations. So another great opportunity, to be a part of the community. The other thing that I wanted to point out, something that is a huge opportunity. So you might be here today thinking that you love the MSE-AI program, but maybe you don't have a computer science degree and you're not quite ready for the actual, for this degree program. There is an opportunity for a dual degree. So you could start in our MCIT program, gain that computer science experience, and then matriculate into the MSE-AI program. And that's called our dual degree option. So what would happen is you would apply to the MCIT program. When you're in your last semester of MCIT, you could apply to the MSE-AI program through the dual degree application. And what that allows you to do, if accepted, you need a 3.5 in order to do this. So there is a GPA requirement, but you would matriculate into the MSE-AI program, and 4 courses from MCIT would count for the second degree, would count for the AI degree, leaving you with only 6 more courses to achieve that second degree. So you would be receiving 2 degrees just with 16 courses. So 10 courses in the MCIT program, you apply in your last semester for the dual degree, and then you continue on with MSE-AI, allowing you with just 6 courses to get that second degree. So it really is an awesome opportunity. So if there's anybody on here thinking, oh my goodness, I can't apply, I don't have a computer science degree, this would be a wonderful opportunity for you to gain that computer science experience and then go on to that AI degree option as well. So definitely would look into that if this pertains to you. So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about application details. So let's talk a little bit about the admissions process, application details. So first of all, our application right now is not open, but our application is opening in just a few short weeks. So the application will open up on June 3rd. What you need to submit your application, in order to submit, you need an updated resume, you need a personal statement, you need all college transcripts for every school that you have attended. So if you went to multiple schools and you have transfer credits and all of that, you need to supply transcripts for every school, for every course that you've taken, 4-credit course. Those have to be uploaded into your application, and there's a $90 application fee. We also need letters of recommendation. We require 2 letters of recommendation, but those can come after you submit. As long as we receive those letters of recommendation by deadline, you're fine, but you can submit the application prior to having those recommendations, and then they'll automatically be uploaded into your application once they're received. In addition, there is an option for a GRE. GRE is not required, but if you feel that you want to say, provide a higher proof of quantitative ability, let's say, you can certainly submit your GRE scores as well, but they are optional, they're not required. And then we do require proof of English language proficiency through a TOEFL. That would be required for anyone that is not a U.S. citizen, not a U.S. permanent resident, or if the country that you're from of English is not the main language, is not the primary language. The TOEFL can be waived if you have a degree from a university where the primary medium of instruction was English. So if you graduated from a university where the main mode of instruction was English, then the TOEFL can be waived. So those are all of our application elements. We do get a lot of questions on the personal statement. So what I want to point out about the personal statement is be sure to answer every question that we ask. When you go through the application and you open that section up, you're going to see a series of about 6 questions or so. It's really important to answer those questions. We want to get to know you. We don't interview our applicants. This is an excellent opportunity for us to get to know you. Look at those questions as interview questions and be sure to answer them. Sometimes we get good personal statements, but no, applicants don't answer our questions. We want you to answer the questions. That's really, really important. And it's really important for your passion to come through. What are your goals? What are you looking to get out of this degree program? What's the end result? What do you want to do afterwards? It's really important for our applicants to be passionate because our program is rigorous. Our programs are rigorous, and you need to be passionate sometimes in order to get through them and to push you through them. So you want your passion for the program and for your goals to come through in that personal statement as well. I mentioned 2 letters of recommendation. I strongly urge all applicants to seek 3. We allow you to provide contact information for 3 recommenders. I think that's really important. It provides you with a safety net. Believe it or not, not all recommenders are timely. And sometimes they submit the recommendation and it's, say, past the deadline. If we receive, if you don't have 2 letters of recommendation by deadline, your application will not be reviewed. So by providing that 3rd option, and that 3rd recommender gives you a little bit of a safety net. So hopefully 2 of them will be in by deadline. So always urge everyone to seek out 3 recommenders. I think it's really smart to do that. Once you submit your application, we have a wonderful applicant portal where you'll be able to go and see the status of your application. So after you submit and you log back into your admissions account, it'll bring you right to your student status page or your student portal. You'll right then and there be able to see if recommenders submitted, or if you need to submit a TOEFL score, if the TOEFL score has been received. Everything is right there on your student portal. Your checklist is there, and you'll be able to watch and see as various documents are received. So that's a great big plus about the application. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see all of our deadlines. We have an early application deadline and a regular application deadline. The only difference between the two is obviously you'll get notified quicker if you apply to the early round. You can see there the deadline is August 5th, and then we notify you on decisions by September 13th. The regular deadline is not till October 7th, and we'll notify decisions are returned on November 11th. So again, with the early admission deadline, you'll find out earlier, but the other key factor is that we have something called the Dean's Master's Scholarship that is only offered for early application round. You cannot apply to the Dean's Master's Scholarship in regular round. So it's only offered in the early round, and that scholarship application is located right in the regular program application. There's nothing more you need to do than to answer those questions right in the application. Our Dean's Master's Scholarship is only open to U.S. citizens and U.S. permanent residents. So that kind of gives you all of the details that you need to know about the application, the admissions process, and the application elements. I did want to point out, it says on here that classes start January 24, classes start January 25. I think none of us want to admit that will be another year older, so we kept it in 24. So, but that's classes start in January 25, okay? So just wanted to clear that up. So I think we are ready for some Q&A. So let me just take a look here and see what questions have been fed through. So just kind of give me a minute. Okay, I think you actually might have touched upon this, Chris, when you went over the course curriculum. You talked about one of the courses that are being developed, but we have a question here that says, I don't see any courses specifically on generative AI. Are there any plans to introduce Gen AI/LLM specific courses?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my natural language processing course covers LLMs in particular. So we work you up from earlier NLP into LLMs all the way into large pre-trained models like ChatGPT. We teach you about different kinds of prompting, fine-tuning, retrieval augmented generation, almost all the latest and greatest stuff. So it's such a fast-moving field that much of the latest and greatest we end up covering in office hours rather than in the pre-recorded classes. But that course was redone just this past summer. So all the way up through GPT-4, it's got current information.
Yeah, I have to mention, Professor Callison-Burch is probably one of the professors I see so often in the studio here, either updating or working on new coursework, et cetera. So, and then like he said, if it's something that's new and it can't get into the current curriculum, then you can talk about it during office hours, which is awesome. The ability that we even have the office hours, that's a great thing for sure.
And then just as a little anecdote, one of my favorite moments was when I introduced a homework assignment into our artificial intelligence class, which was teaching students how to use the OpenAI API. So it was like a new homework number 10 end of the course capstone thing. And then like literally within 1 week of me releasing that, ChatGPT came out and I was like, oh, this course is like the most contemporary course possible. So yeah, if you want to learn about LLMs and generative AI, happy to, we got you covered.
Awesome. There's also questions about the undergraduate majors that are needed to be qualified for this program. So if you can talk a little bit about the importance of, that, computer science background and the backgrounds needed for this program. I think that would help with a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's great. So Penn Engineering Online now has 3 different master's programs. They're all sort of designed to pull in people at different backgrounds. So our master's MCIT, Masters of Computer and Information Technology, is designed to be a conversion course for students who are coming outside of computer science into being computer scientists. So if you haven't done a computer science major, that's a good entry point. And then, like Jackie mentioned, we have this option to do a dual degree, meaning you complete that MCIT conversion course to become a computer science, and then you can take a smaller load in order to complete either the AI master's degree or the data science master's degree. So that one requires no computer science background at all. In fact, we don't admit computer scientists into that program. We have another degree program in data science, which is for students with a quantitative background, but not necessarily a computer science one. And then the AI degree, we're targeting students with a computer science undergraduate degree or past masters, so that we can sort of have a baseline shared set of assumptions about what types of education you are starting the program with. So we can assume a knowledge of data structures and algorithms and Python programming and other sorts of things like that.
Awesome. And if there are questions and you're unsure, please reach out to the admissions team. There'll be some information at the end of the webinar on how to reach us and if you have questions, but we're happy to help you to kind of guide you a little bit through that. We can't make specific recommendations, but we certainly can guide you through that in terms of, which program might be a better fit to apply to. And then also we do review all applicants basically for all programs. So if you were to apply to the MCIT program, let's say, and you already had a computer science degree and you were a star applicant, we could in fact accept you into the MSE-AI degree as an option. So we do look at all applications for all programs as well. There was some questions about where the degree can take you. Are these for, does this help students transition into industry AI careers? Does it help students transition into academic AI careers? Like what is the, what's the deal in terms of what happens after the degree in terms of careers and jobs?
Yeah, so we're aiming to equip most people to step into industry, into a job related to AI engineering. So I think you'll see an emerging class of job advertisements looking for something called an AI engineer, or I've seen some that mention ML ops, like if you're doing machine learning operations, then there's a specific career title at a lot of companies called that. And I've seen fresh new titles that are like LLM ops, that's equivalent to the machine learning ops, but for large language models. So as an example of some recent graduates who did many of the courses that we're including in our AI degree specialization, one is now working at AWS, Amazon Web Services, where she is working with a team who are deploying applications that use LLMs. So I think that's exactly the type of career that we want to equip candidates for. We've had a small number of people go on to do academic careers like PhDs, but the more typical route is into industry, into big tech.
Awesome. And that kind of segues into our next question, because we do have some questions about, are there opportunities for doing more complex homework assignments, or are there are there opportunities for research as well? Like what are those opportunities look like with this? Are there any?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the homework assignments are designed to be challenging and to teach you the fundamentals of the material. Some of our courses, like my NLP one, are some of the homework assignments. So let me contrast my AI course with my NLP course. So in my AI course, we're teaching you through homework assignments to implement algorithms that have a known solution. Because NLP is one of these cutting edge things where there's open-ended research and the field is changing so rapidly, many of the homework assignments are designed in that kind of open-ended researchy way. So many of the homework assignments involve a component that has a leaderboard. So you'll design a system in order to try to do as best as possible on some task where we can measure how good the model's predictions are, but that there isn't like a set algorithm in the same way that we can show that you correctly implemented a star, like in an AI class. So those are really fun and really like on the edge of being open-ended research questions themselves. So that's a really great way of getting involved with research-oriented homeworks.
Excellent. And then somebody did ask if they wanted to go on to a PhD. Are there opportunities, to work with professors on research, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so we're working on putting together this AI practicum course, which could be an option for you to take as part of the degree program. The details of that are still not yet worked out, so we haven't quite finalized what that course will look like, but that is one where it's likely that you would work closely with a faculty member on a research-oriented topic. So we're still working out the details for that, but that's a likely path.
Awesome. And I do know from the other programs, we have some students that have been able to on their own, work with, look up professors and their research and connect with them, and work on research projects with them because, their ultimate goal is to go onto a PhD program. So that it may not necessarily be something that's built into the program, but certainly there's opportunities. I mean, Penn is the right place for research. So there's
Yeah. So my advice on this is basically go to your professor's office hours and express interest and enthusiasm.
Did we lose Chris?
Us to be quiet. So yeah, and so we've had lots of students go on to BTAs and to help out with research-oriented stuff. It's not directly built into the program, but there's opportunities for sure.
So there we go. You have to make sure you're involved with those office hours and make yourself heard and make some connections. I think that's what it's all about, no matter what, really. So that's great. Okay, I'm looking for some more questions. I think we've covered a lot of the program questions. There's a couple of questions here, admissions questions that I certainly can answer. So there was just some questions about the best recommenders to use. So we always say if you've been out of your undergrad for a while and you really haven't kept up with any relationships with professors, there's no need for an academic recommendation. You certainly can we want you to use professional recommendations. You can use managers or supervisors, anyone that's kind of above you in the chain and oversees your projects and your work. Those are the best recommenders to use. You don't want to use coworkers from the standpoint of somebody that's like at the same level or same job title as you. They definitely should be like a manager, supervisor, or somebody that is above you on the chain. Definitely don't want to use friends or family members, things along those lines. But people that oversee your projects, your work, and can speak to your ability on why they feel you're an excellent candidate for this program. That's the type of recommender that you're looking for. Many times, applicants make the mistake of using recommenders, professors that maybe they graduated 15 years ago and the professor really doesn't remember them. They kind of look them up and just say that they attended class and they got a certain grade, and it doesn't really tell you much about, how much they know them and why they'd be a good candidate necessarily now for the program. So keep that in mind when you're selecting recommenders. So that was one of the first questions about the admissions process. So another one, I mentioned the dates and deadlines. Yes, you don't need to have your recommenders submit by deadline. You can submit your application, and then as long as the letters are, I'm sorry, you don't need to have your recommenders in before you submit, but you do need to have your letters of recommendations in by deadline. That's really important. So when you're looking at those deadlines, you want to make sure that happens. Okay. And let me see if there's any more here. Any more questions from the behind the scenes team? Are we doing good here? Did we answer them all? I think we are in pretty good shape. So I think I can probably wrap this up.
Great. Well, thank you all for your interest in our new Masters in Engineering and Artificial Intelligence. I think this is going to be an incredibly exciting program, and we hope to see your applications, and we hope that you join the program.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go over that. Yeah, absolutely. I think we've hopefully we've answered all your questions, but in case we haven't, I just want to point out just a few things that you can do after the webinar is over today. I did mention that the webinar is recorded, so please go back, watch the webinar. If there's something that you missed, something that Professor Callison-Burch said that you kind of think you remembered, go back and watch the webinar. You'll be able to pull out all the important stuff. Or the only important details that you're looking for. And again, like I mentioned, those webinars, we have an entire library of webinar, tons of current students talking about what they do to connect, alumni talking about our career services department, which didn't even come up in the webinar today, but we have an entire career services department that do an excellent job of working with our students and helping them either to if they're a career switcher or they want to search for a new job within their industry, whatever the case may be, they're very, very helpful. So one way is definitely you want to make sure you're looking for those webinars. Excuse me. You can check out our FAQ database. Go to our website. We have a very robust FAQ database. You definitely want to check that out. Tons of questions and answers in that database. So that would be the first place that I would go to. Our admissions team has office hours. We absolutely love to meet with our potential students. We have office hours almost every day of the week. We have office hours in the evening. We have office hours on the weekend. So please go onto our website, go to events, and sign up for office hours. You can ask your questions there. And again, we'd love to meet with our potential students. So that's an awesome way for us to answer questions. I already mentioned the webinars and other events. Again, right now we're kind of in between applications. No application is open now, but our application will be opening on June 3rd, and you will start to see a lot more events on our event page. We do lots of webinars. We do coffee chats. Coffee chats are like a group office hours. So there'll be maybe, 60 people in there, 100 people in there, usually right around the 60 mark. And you can ask, all you do is ask questions. There's no formal presentation. The admissions team is there. You ask your questions, we answer them. And what I love about coffee chats, even if you don't think you have any questions, you get to that coffee chat and you hear what everybody else is asking. And you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't think of that. I should have asked that. I didn't think of that. So great way to get questions answered that you didn't even know you had. So coffee chats are definitely a huge plus in learning about our programs and the admissions process. So I would definitely say go to that link, go to our, very easy to find, go to our website at the very top, you go to events, click on it, and you can sign up for any event that we have coming up. And again, if you go to it right now, about the only thing you're going to see are office hours, and that's only because we're in between applications right now. But once that new application opens up, you will see more events start to populate. Email us. We have an entire team that's on our inbox. We typically answer them within 24 hours. We start to not panic, but we get a little nervous if we don't answer them within 24 hours. So we really, really strive to answer all emails within 24 hours. So please email us, and a member of the admissions team will get back to you with answers. If for some reason we don't know the answer, we'll get back to you and tell you we're looking into it. So you definitely want to keep in contact with us and email us. You should all, because you've signed up for the webinar today, you're already on our mailing list, you're in our system. So we will definitely keep you up to speed on what's happening. We'll actually email you if there's a new webinar coming up or coffee chats. So you'll hear about events as well. You'll hear about anything new, dates, deadlines, when the application opens. So we do a good job of trying to keep you all informed about what's going on, during the admissions cycle, even prior to the admissions cycle and during it. So lots of different ways that you can get in touch with us. Again, we want to help you. We do our best. That's our job, to help you from the point of inquiry all the way until the time you're hopefully accepted as a student. And then the student affairs team takes on from there and they help you every step of the way until graduation. We thank you so much for being here today. The questions were great. And Chris, thank you so much. So informative. We always enjoy having you on our events, and hopefully we'll do this again too throughout the cycle. We hope we can do it again. So thanks to
Absolutely.
everyone. We appreciate it. Have a great day,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.